Hello, this is Jeff, the retired farm boy. I do a lot of reading. I read books, I read magazine articles, I read a lot on the internet. And I was reading some things yesterday and it got me interested in looking at some retirement type quotes or sayings that you hear people say, and you sort of wonder, how do these relate to retirement? So I picked out a few that relate to retirement that I wanted to go over. So the first saying that I come across that is a little bit comical in nature about retirement, but can be true. The best time to start thinking about retirement is before your boss does. Now I know that's a little slant there towards, get out before the boss throws you out kind of thing. Hopefully that doesn't happen to many of you that are watching this video, but companies, especially when we start going through tough times, they do a cutback, and some of the people that they offer packages to or release first sometimes turns out to be the ones that are closer to retirement age. So I guess there is a little bit of truth to that one. The next one is, and this is an old joke you hear all the time, what do you call someone who's happy on Monday? Retired. I know when I was working, my wife and I, she still works, but when we were both working, we would try to wind down on Sunday evening, and sometimes we get to talking about, what the work week coming up was going to be like. Now that she's the only one working, I try not to bring that up too much because I know she doesn't really want to continue to be working when I'm not. Now she loves her job and enjoys it quite a bit, but I still don't want to, dig too deep or poke a little too much about me not having to do anything on Monday morning when she goes to work. Another one that I found that's pretty comical concerning money, one of the things that we always talk about, retirement is like a Las Vegas trip. The goal is to enjoy it to the fullest, but not so fully that you run out of money. And there's a whole lot of truth to that. Probably the biggest worry of anybody's is, do we have enough money? So when I read that, I thought it was quite comical. I hadn't heard that before, actually. Retirement is wonderful. It's doing nothing without worrying about getting caught doing nothing. You don't have to worry about it when you're retired. You can get caught doing nothing, and that's perfectly okay. Retirement is the only time in your life when time is no longer equal to money. That is so true. When you're working, time is money. That's a big phrase that you'll hear. When you retire, that's okay, because we're in that part of our life. We don't supposed to be worrying about money so much as we used to. This one is very true. It's a quote from Susan Miller. The key to retirement is to find joy in the little things. And this is something that I'm finding a lot more joy in some of the smaller things that perhaps when I was working and stressed and going at it so hard to make that dollar, you don't take the time to smell the roses, so to speak. But in retirement, you get time to enjoy just sitting around watching traffic go by, doing really nothing, but it's just the little things of walking through the woods and seeing the wildlife that you might see, squirrels, deer, turkeys. Around where I live, mainly the bald eagles are starting to show up. So the little things in life are much easily enjoyed in retirement. And here's a quote from Walt Mossberg. I see retirement as another chance to do new things and be a new version of myself. And that's so true for me. So retirement is that time where we can actually get into new hobbies, become a better version possibly of what we have been while we're working. Retirement is when having a good time is your only job. Now, I like that one because I try to stay positive about everything, and I want to have good times. And in retirement, I can say that so far for me, so good. You hear these stories of people being bored, people getting depressed, but think positive. And if you think positive, this is my philosophy of the moment that I'll teach you. If you think positive, usually only positive things happen. If you towards that negative, you run into negative. So stay positive. And I think the last one that I'll leave you with, we've all heard the saying, old as dirt. No, you never really wanted anybody to call you old as dirt, when you're working, because you felt like you were still in the game. You were still going at it, just like they were. But in retirement, when somebody says old as dirt, I have a tendency to smile now and just say, hey, that's what you want to call me, that's what you want to call me. So I hope you liked this little video, short video of sayings that I found, and I hope you'll keep them in mind as you go forward. Stay positive, stay focused, and enjoy retirement, because you know what I say, retirement is great.